Hello, boys and girls. Mrs. Perkins here, along with my friend Charlie Brown. It's time for our daily Christmas read aloud. I'm still reading The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. It's a pretty interesting story, entertaining if you're just now joining us. The last couple days are on Wednesday or Tuesday the 1st and Wednesday the 2nd if you want to catch up. I usually read for about 10 minutes each day. But anyways, it's about this group called the Herdmans. It's a little family, and they're pretty crazy. And you'll see why in just a second. So I stopped kind of in the beginning of chapter 2. I read a few pages. Mother had a list of names, and while she was calling people about the ladies, Mrs. Homer McCarthy was trying to call Mother about the potluck supper. But Mrs. McCarthy got somebody else to do it, and Mother got somebody else to do that bazaar. So the only thing left was the Christmas pageant. And Mother got stuck with that. I could run the potluck supper with one hand tied behind my back, Mother told us. All you have to do is make sure everybody doesn't bring meatloaf. But the Christmas pageant, our Christmas pageant isn't what you'd call 4-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. The script was standard. The inn, the stable, the shepherds, the star. And so are the costumes, and so is the casting. Primary kids are angels, intermediate kids are shepherds, big boys are wise men. Elmer Hopkins, the minister's son, has been Joseph for as long as I can remember. And my friend Alice Winlicken is Mary because she's so smart, so neat and clean, and most of all, so holy looking. All the rest of us are the angel choir, lined up according to height because nobody can sing parts. As a matter of fact, nobody can sing. We're strictly a no-talent outfit except for a girl named Alberta Bottles, who whistles. Last year, Alberta whistled "What Child Is This?" for a change of pace, but nobody liked it, especially Mrs. Bottles, because Alberta put too much into it and ran out of air and passed out cold on the manger in the middle of the 3rd verse. Aside from that, though, it's always just the Christmas story, year after year, with people shuffling around in bathrobes and bed sheets and sharp wings. Well, my father said, once Mother got put in charge of it, here's your big chance. Why don't you cancel the pageant and just show movies? Movies of what? Mother said. I don't know. Fred Stamper has 5 big reels of Yellowstone National Park. What does Yellowstone National Park have to do with Christmas? Mother asked. I know a good movie, Charlie said. We had it at school. It shows a heart operation and 2 kids got sick. Never mind, Mother said. I guess you all think you're pretty funny. But the Christmas pageant is a tradition, and I don't plan to do anything different. Of course, nobody even thought about the Herdmans in connection with the Christmas pageant. Most of us spent all week in school being pounded and poked and pushed around by Herdmans. And we looked forward to Sunday as a day of rest. Once a month, the whole Sunday school would go to church for the first 15 minutes of the service and do something special. Sing a song or act out a parable or recite Bible verses. Usually the little kids sing, Jesus Loves Me, which was all that they were up to. But when my brother Charlie was in with the little kids, his teacher thought up of something different to do. She had everybody write down on a piece of paper what they liked best about Sunday school, or draw a picture of what they liked best. And when we all got in the church, she stood up in front of our congregation and said, today, some of our youngest boys and girls are going to tell you what Sunday school means to them. Betsy, what do you have on your paper? Betsy Cathcart stood up and said, what I like best about Sunday school is the good feeling I get when I go there. I don't think she wrote that down at all, but it sounded terrific, of course. One kid said he liked hearing all the Bible stories. Another kid said, I like learning songs about Jesus. 8 or 9 little kids stood up and said what they liked. And it was always something good, or cheerful, or nice. Finally, the teacher said, I think we have time for one more. Charlie, what can you tell us about Sunday school? My little brother Charlie stood up and he didn't even have to look at his piece of paper. What I like best about Sunday school, he said, is that there aren't any herdmans here. Well, the teacher should have stuck with Jesus loved me, because everybody forgot all the nice churchy things the other kids said and just remember what Charlie said about the herdmans. When we went to pick him up after church, his teacher told us, "I'm sure there are many things that Charlie likes about school. Maybe he will tell you what some of them are." She smiled at all of us, but you could tell she was really mad. On the way home, I asked Charlie, "What are some other things that you like that she was talking about?" He shrugged. "I like the other stuff, but she said to write down what we liked best. And what I like best is no herdmans." Not a very Christian sentiment, my father said. Maybe not, but it's very practical. Mother told him. Last year, Charlie had spent the whole second grade being black and blue because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman. In the end, it was Charlie's fault that the Herdman showed up in church. For 3 days in a row, Leroy Herdman stole the dessert from Charlie's lunchbox. And finally, Charlie just gave up trying to do anything about it. "Oh, go on and take it," he said. "I don't care. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school." Leroy wanted to know more about that. "What kind of dessert?" he said. "Chocolate cake," Charlie told him, "and candy bars, and cookies, and Kool-Aid. We get refreshments all the time, all we want." "You're a liar," Leroy said. Leroy was right. We got jelly beans at Easter and punch and cookies on Children's Day. And that's it. The pages are sticking. The new book. There we go. "We get ice cream too," Charlie went on, "and donuts and popcorn balls." "Who gives it to you?" Leroy wanted to know. "The minister," Charlie said. He didn't know who else to say. Of course, that was the wrong thing to tell Herdman if you wanted them to stay away. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, they were there, slouching into Sunday school, eyes peeled for the refreshments. "Where do you get the cake?" Ralph asked the Sunday school superintendent, and Mr. Grady said, "Well, son, I don't know about any cake, but they're collecting the food packages out in the kitchen." What he meant was the canned stuff we brought in every year as a Thanksgiving present for the orphans' home. It was just our bad luck that the Herdmans picked that Sunday to come, because when they saw all the cans of spaghetti and beans and grape drink and peanut butter, they figured there might be some truth to what Charlie said about refreshments. So they stayed. They didn't sing any hymns or say any prayers, but they did make a little money because I saw Emma Jean snake a handful of coins out of the collection basket when it went past her. At the end of the morning, Mr. Grady came to every class and made an announcement. "We'll be starting rehearsal soon after our Christmas pageant," he said. "And next week after the service, we'll all gather in the back of the church to decide who will play the main roles. But of course, we want every boy and girl in our Sunday school to take part in the pageant. So be sure your parents know that you'll be staying a little later next Sunday." Mr. Grady made this same speech every year, so he didn't get any wild applause. Besides, as I said, we all know what part we are going to play anyway. Alice Winlecken must have been a little bit worried, because she turned around to me with this sticky smile on her face and said, "I hope you're going to be in the angel choir again. You're so good in the angel choir." What she meant was, "I hope you won't get to be married just because your mother's running the pageant." She didn't have to worry. I didn't want to be married. I didn't want to be the angel in the choir either. But everybody had to be something. All of a sudden, Emma Jean Herdman dug me in the ribs with her elbow. She has the sharpest elbow of anybody I ever knew. "What's the pageant?" she said. "It's a play," I said, for the first time that day, except when she saw the collection basket. Emma Jean looked interested. All the Herdmans are big moviegoers. They never pay their own way. One or two of them start a fight at the box office or of the theater while the others slip in. They get their popcorn the same way, and then they spread out all over the place so the manager can never find them all before the picture's over. "What's the play about?" Emma Jean asked. "It's about Jesus," I said. "Everything here is," she muttered. So I figured Emma Jean didn't care much about the Christmas pageant. But I was wrong. All right, we'll stop there. I'm on chapter 3. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed today's Read Aloud. Tune in tomorrow for more. Bye.